From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
Signed. Your bill is getting signed within minutes. The excitement exploded earlier today at 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. The President of the United States issued a quick, short sentence release obtained by this channel. The President of the United States will sign your third stimulus check into law within minutes, a day earlier. Your $1,400 third stimulus check is becoming law this afternoon. The President of the United States in the Oval Office will sign your $1,400 third stimulus check into law. Stimulus checks will go out shortly thereafter. The President of the United States will address the country in a primetime press conference this evening. In that primetime press conference, the United States will learn what is in the third stimulus package. Millions of Americans don't watch YouTube or watch online videos to learn is what's in the stimulus package. And suddenly they'll learn there's thousands of other dollars for them in the third stimulus package in addition to a stimulus check. That may cause stimulus stampede as millions of Americans will realize they qualify for $5,000 or more of additional stimulus in this package that they had never heard of. Last night, Twitter was trending with the word stimmy check, where people thought that all they're getting from the third stimulus package is a stimmy check, with jokes along the lines of, I'm going to go buy some stuff with my stimmy check. But tonight, when millions of Americans learn that they're getting more than just a stimmy check, that they're actually they're actually now in line to get thousands of dollars if they apply for it, what will cause the results to happen? What this channel is reporting as a stimulus stampede. For the first time arguably since the start of the pandemic, Americans will actually get a fully briefed out press conference explaining what money you can get, when you can get it, how you can get it, and where you can get it. So in this recording right now on Noontime's LALATE, in a rare recording, I'm going to go through slowly all the deal provisions of the third stimulus package so you know how to pounce and get it as a Purple Hawk before anyone else. Noontime LALATE starts right now. Within minutes, the United States will watch as the president signs your $1,400 third stimulus check into law. And millions of Americans tonight will learn from this president what is actually in the bill that could pay them even more money than a stimulus check. Suddenly, Americans will get a lot more educated about stimulus than they ever have been educated during this pandemic. And how does that impact you? I have all the details right now. Congratulations, you're getting a law, and the law is happening within just a few minutes. Within a minute of this recording, the president will sign into law your $1,400 third stimulus check. At 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, this channel was live during the Purple recording. I leaned over to grab the quotes on the NASDAQ and the Dow because we're a live show on financial news, and suddenly the wire hit. A wire from the White House came across my screen that the President of the United States announces that he's signing the third stimulus check into law today. In fact, this afternoon. At the time of that release, it already was the afternoon on the East Coast. And that the signing will happen before the primetime address, which is this evening, which we're almost approaching on the East Coast. It's 11 o'clock here now on the West Coast. And in the video right before this, I went live with the details of the video of the provisions in that stimulus package. And at that time, the channel went at the end of the video to 172 chat rate. This channel has never seen any chat rate that I recall over 40. That's how many people are chatting per second in the room. What a big day with exciting, great news. And if that excitement is not an indication of what you need to do, I'm going to tell you right now. In this recording, I'm going to show you how, where, and by what mean you can get this money on the third stimulus package. And for the first time ever, I'm going to literally go very slowly through all the provisions. So as a subscriber or as a member, you know exactly all the answers to every possible question you may have about each item of the stimulus package in this recording. So this is a slightly different show than you usually hear on this channel because it's going to be very, very detailed item by item. So now is the moment to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. Get a pen and paper out because the excitement starts right now. First, the $1,400 stimulus check will be $1,400 for individuals, $1,400 for children, $1,400 for adult dependents. The stimulus check will go to the person you appear as an adult dependent on. The number of people in a household who can get a stimulus check is capped at 4. The stimulus check will not be taken out for child support. You need to have a Social Security number for that stimulus check. The stimulus check goes off of income qualifications of the 2019 or 2020 tax return, whichever is most recent, and stays at a $75,000 or less income qualification from the previous stimulus packages. If you're missing a stimulus check, then you need to request it from a 2020 tax return, which you can now file voluntarily, even if you're on SSI, by requesting it at line 30. Who will get stimulus checks first? People who are signed up for electronic receipt of funds from IRS. Who are those people? People who have filed tax returns, who have provided IRS electronic information about themselves. The other people who would likely be very early on are people who receive benefits electronically from the U.S. government on a monthly basis. For example, people on SSI or SSDI who receive monthly checks electronically into a bank account would also be teed up to be the first recipients. If you have a bank account which the IRS knows of that is now closed, you cannot fix it. There is no fixing for bank accounts. If you did fix the bank account situation by filing a 2020 tax return in the last few weeks, by updating the IRS with your new tax return, that may have worked. But if you've done it in just the last few days, it may be too late. Finally, if you're a person expecting a check by paper or debit card, watch the mail, because if you watch this channel in the fall of last year, that debit card envelope is not so obvious looking. It looks like a spam envelope. I don't want you to throw it away, which some viewers did. That's the stimulus check. Next, the next item is the unemployment benefits. You will stay on unemployment claim. You will not have to reapply. If you are currently on UI or PUA, you will stay on claim. You will not have to reapply. You'll just have to continue to certify for weekly benefits across the land. Your PUA will now be to 79 weeks. Your PUC will be to 24 weeks. If you've been unemployed since this pandemic started in March, you could not have run out of weeks. Every now and then someone sends me a message, I ran out of weeks. There's no way to run out of weeks. PUA is now 79 weeks and PUC is now 53 weeks. There's no way to have run out of weeks if you started unemployment after this pandemic started in March of 2020. There is an additional twist about 2 items. One, under the third stimulus package, this is what's happening with that mixed earner item. $100 of weekly benefits will continue to September 6th. It does count towards income for calculating Medicaid or children's health. But FPUC will not count towards Medicaid or children's health services or SNAP for purposes of calculation. Now, earlier in one of the recordings, I explained that the $10,200 of unemployment tax-free from 2020 is going to cause a lot of people confusion. This is the simplest way I can say it. Your first $10,200 of unemployment you received in the year 2020 is now tax-free. That includes UI, PUA, and FPUC. It's now tax-free. If you paid taxes on it because you had it taken out by your unemployment department before you got paid, or you declared that income as income on your tax return for 2020, which you've already filed, and paid taxes on that first $10,200, you will need to go to a tax preparer to do a potential amended return. You cannot simply call up the Department of Unemployment and ask for money back. That's not how it works. You have to do an amended tax return. It is a very complicated mathematical calculation, which has no single simple answer for all viewers. So certainly do not reach out to the volunteers or me or anyone else, because it's literally a complicated calculation that involves tax preparation. A tax preparer will do it for you, and please have them do it, because it could cost you a big savings of money. Cobra is cheaper. Congratulations. Government will pay all Cobra premiums from April 1st to September 30th. And then premiums thereafter are cheaper, no more than 8.5% of your adjusted gross income. All right, let's go over to that child's check. The child's check, I predict, will likely be the most asked question of the third stimulus package over the next few weeks. I just sense it's going to be the most asked question. So let me see if I can hit all the possible questions and all the possible answers right now. But before I do, let me see who is in the room. There is Lynn, and there's Reed, and there's Dodd, and there's Colleen, and there's Bonnie, and there's Kathy, and there's Dedrick, and there is the skipper, and there is Barb, and Biden just signed. Well, congratulations. At shortly after 11 a.m., the President of the United States has now signed. So some viewers, let me check the feed, because I was going over your earned income tax credit. The President has just signed it. The President just signed it. It is now past tense. Congratulations. Just as of 11:10 on the West Coast, the President of the United States has just signed your $1,400 third stimulus check. I told you it was within minutes. It literally was within minutes. Congratulations, it's signed. SIGNED law. The President of the United States has just signed your $1,400 third stimulus check bill into law at 11:11. That's a good number. 11:11 Pacific Standard Time. Shortly after 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, when I was live on Purple in the middle of the broadcast, I went over to grab the NASDAQ and Dow quotes for you about financial news, and then a news wire came across my screen that the President of the United States would sign the bill this afternoon. It already was afternoon at the time of that recording on the East Coast, but of course morning here on the West Coast. I quickly told viewers live on air that it's just within minutes. We had another recording right after that, right before this one, which had the highest chat rate of any video ever on this channel. 172 chats a minute, which is just insane. At one point, actually went to 220. Then I came back live with this recording telling you it's within minutes. We're only 13 minutes of the video. And sure enough, within minutes of going live on this recording, the President of the United States has now signed your $1,400 third stimulus check. The checks are headed out the door. Congratulations. And there we go. If you have not subscribed to this channel, this is why you subscribe to this channel. It's a financial live news channel, keeping you financially stable throughout 2021. We're going to have a great year together. I'm not going anywhere. You're going to get financially stable from point A to point B. This is the start of you being financially stable this year. You're not going to be dependent upon any more checks at any other time. You're going to get checks, not track checks. You're going to cash checks across the board. The third stimulus package has upwards of $5,000 additional just to start for you on top of the stimulus check. And that's all application based. So you need to stay with me as a member or as a subscriber to learn how to get this money, because it's first come, first serve. Tonight, the President of the United States addresses the public in a primetime address, and that primetime address is very important. Let me explain why. The first stimulus package was passed in March during the middle of the pandemic. Everyone was going crazy because the pandemic was hitting. No one knew what it was. And suddenly there was a stimulus package. Even myself, as someone who's relatively up on the news, never heard of a lot of these things. I never heard of EIDL until a friend of mine told me about it. And on April 25th, I went live and I told viewers about PUA about to go live on April 28th. That was the start date of PUA. For 2 months, it took me 2 months to explain to people that PUA was not FPUC. People thought PUA was FPUC. That is how there was no real delineation, no press conference about the first stimulus package when it came out. People had to catch up on information. The second stimulus package in December really just went out. People just thought there was a stimulus check and nothing else. Well, there is. There's rent, utilities, and food and more. That's what's purple is on this channel. But this time, it's going to be different. Tonight, the president's going to tell millions and millions of Americans, here is money for you to get. This is what it's called. Go get it and go apply for it. And so for the first time ever, you are going to have competition for the money which you have been informed about from this channel from millions of Americans who are learning it from a primetime press conference. So that's why timing is critical. You need to subscribe to this channel because timing is critical. The signing of the bill now into law is critical for other reasons, in addition to just the announcement and the informing the American people. It's important because now that the president has signed into law, literally this minute, SBA.gov has the authority to go live with a $5,000 EIDL grant. The law says that the minute the president signs into law, SBA may go live with the EIDL grant of $5,000 for you, but must close it within 14 days. So we'll go live today, we'll go live tomorrow. They have a certain number of days to choose to go live with it. But what I've told you is the minute it goes live, it's going to run out of money in about 3 days. So that's why things are so important for timing of stimulus. Now let's get back to the other items I want to go over for you. The next thing is the child credit. That's where we were shortly before 11/11 when the President of the United States signed the bill into law. The child tax credit is, I think, going to be the most confusing item for so many viewers. Everyone knows the number of the amount of money. The money is easy. The question is how to get it is really going to be the big issue. Let's go over the money again. If you have a child 5 to newborn, $5,000. If you have a child 17 to 6, $4,400. Now let me explain how this works. The check amount is the following. For 5 to newborn, they get a stimulus check of $1,400 plus $3,600. The $3,600 is paid in the month of July, $300 a month for 12 months. For the 17 to 6-year-old, $1,400 plus $3,000. That's $250 a month starting in the month of July. Everyone generally understands the number. People know numbers. That's sort of easy. These are things that I don't think people are going to grasp right away. First, how many children? The $1,400 stimulus check has a cap of 4 children, a cap of 4 people in the household. So husband, wife, 2 kids, or single mom, 3 kids. That's an example of a family of 4. But the $3,600 and the $3,000 presumably does not have a limit on that. But here's a bigger issue that people are going to ask. How do we get the checks? Not so much what is the amount of the check, how do we get the checks? The single most important thing I got to tell viewers this channel is IRS needs to know the child exists. The income eligibility is also an easy question. The answer is the same as a stimulus check. If you make less than $75,000, your kids are getting that check. If you're a married couple, less than $150,000. That's all easy. It's the issue of how do we get it? IRS needs to know the child exists. Here's the most common example of where something may go wrong. You're on, for example, benefits, SSI and SSDI. You don't file tax returns. You have 3 kids under the age of 5. You've never told IRS about those kids. They're not on benefits. Suddenly, those kids could be getting thousands and thousands of dollars. You have never told the IRS those kids exist. That's the most common example. Another example is, let's say you adopted a child and you've not listed that child on the tax return as a dependent. Or let's say let's say you make $60,000 a year and you work at a department store, but you just have not done the tax return the way you're supposed to list the child as a dependent. So the IRS doesn't know that child exists. These are all things that your tax preparer is going to need to fix. There is no way for you to fix it with IRS. Let me say this again. Where am I? This situation, if you're watching, you say, I don't think IRS knows I have that kid. The non-filer filing, no one should absolutely ask about that document again. The non-filer filing, if you used it in early 2020, God bless you, it worked then. There is no non-filer filing anymore. Everything you fix is by tax returns. So if you need to tell the IRS a child's missing, if you have to tell the IRS of a child they don't know exists, I don't mean they're missing, they don't know the child exists, it's through a tax return. So this is where you need to go to a tax preparer. Remember, anyone can voluntarily file a tax return, even if you're not required to. All right, next one. Let's go to the child care tax credit. This is a different child care item. If you have a child and your child care costs, you can deduct up to 50% of your child care costs. For one child, up to $4,000, and two children, up to $8,000. The children must be under age 13. Hazard pay. Again, this is something you get from filing a tax return. Where do you get this hazard pay? Hazard pay is earned income tax credit. Anyone 19 or older worked as an essential worker, made less than $25,000 a year. It's $1,502. How do you get it? It's via the earned income tax credit on the tax return. Again, this is the question for your tax preparer. Meaning you don't sit around and wait for the check to land your bank account. You actually have to request it. Rental assistance. Okay, so this one is going to be the one that I'm not going to particularly like. You know why I'm not going to particularly like this one? Because the money is going to your state and local. And your state and local is going to have all the money, just like purple, just like second stimulus. It's going to be third stimulus purple. And it's not going to be all at the federal government. So it's literally going to go to this state and that state. Every state's going to have it. Rent, utilities, food, internet, middle-class rent, low-income rent, homeless rent, mortgage assistance, mortgage payments, all that will be done at the local level. So there's not going to be one single agency of the federal government you will apply to get this money. That was originally the way it was supposed to be done in 2020. They didn't pass that law. This one sent it out to the locals. I don't particularly like it because I can't give you a single method of how to do something. I can just apply the whole process across the board, which obviously modifies itself when we're looking at different counties and states. Finally, the business grants. And the business grants are really exciting. Business grants are coming up at the bottom of the hour at 11:22. I go into our business lunch show. And in the business lunch show, I'm going to go over how you get those business grants. Calcino grants. Yes, Calcino grants. I have not even taken a break in this video. There wasn't even a commercial break. That's how much moolah was involved. Who's in the room? Let me look over. Who is here and who is ready for the exciting details? Who do I see? There is Andrea and then Art and Kim. And there's Cassandra. And there's Tia, and there's Art Sullivan. How are you? How's everyone doing? It's a big day with exciting news across the board. Who else is in the room? And there is Leanne and John and Miriam. And there is Angel. And there is Sherry, Justin. Glory to be good. Amen. And there is Jazz and Tiffany and Charles. It's law, folks, says Bonnie. It is law. The President of the United States has signed it into law. Oh, the $1,700 for college students. Thank you for that question. So $1,700 for financial aid for college students. They're going to need to reach out to their financial aid advisor and ask them where in their college they apply for that money. Again, that will be given to the universities, and they will apply for it at a university level. not at a federal level. If I know anything else about that, I will tell you. But the $1,700 is at a financial level. Wow, we are flying. Karosama, and then Kathleen, and Donna, and Sharon, and Yolanda, and Crystal. And there's Amanda, and there's Art, and there's Rose, and there's Chulua, and Karoma again, and Shawnee, and Teresa, and Sonia, and Helen, and Frida, and Sandy. Oh my God, Yahoo! Yes. Angela. Angela Ellis's question. Yes, it appears that is the case currently, Angela, but it's still an unsettled question because there's a push to solve that problem. Barb, and there's Art, and there's Okapo, and there's Bonnie, and Lou, and MJ, and Teresa, and Justin. Yes, I detailed early in this video, if you're just joining in at 11:11, which was about 13 minutes ago, the president signed it into law. If you're just joining the room, the president signed into law your $1,400 third stimulus check been about 15 minutes ago. This is not the actual event, but this is what it would have looked like. The president signed into law your third stimulus check about 15 minutes ago. I went live at 11 o'clock, and just minutes into this recording at 11:11, it happened exactly as I reported. The day start of Incredible Great News is I was live on Purple at 9:30, and at 9:33, the news came across the wires. This channel was, of course, the first to break the news. I'm the only financial live news network that's live 6 hours a day. So there's a reason why I was able to break it to you, because I was live. And at 9:33, I broke the news that the president's signing the bill into law this afternoon. Then at 11:11, he signed it into law. We now have a law. We're off into the sunset of stimulus land. Your third stimulus checks are going out. Unemployment benefits will not lapse. And then the excitement continues as the President of the United States will address the country tonight in a primetime address explaining what's in that stimulus check. Meantime, if you are one of those people who are asking questions, whatever happened to, the answer is nothing. So this is not the time and place to ask whatever happened to. The answer is nothing. If you heard about something being pushed in 2020 or being pushed in early 2021 and you don't hear on this channel, it means it didn't happen. Thank you, John, for the super chat. I really love it. Really exciting day. There's Laura, and there's Art, and there's Martha, and there is Kim as well. It's a big day with so much exciting news. A big day. You're getting a $14 stimulus check. We are into law land. So my two emojis are now irrelevant. It's not bill yet. It's not law yet. Well, guess what? Those emojis are now irrelevant. Well, you can use them for the other items. You can use them for the standalone mortgage. You can use them for the standalone student loan debt forgiveness bill, which is still in the Senate. The wealth tax bill, which is still in the Senate. You can use those for the other bills. But for purposes of this bill, those emojis are now irrelevant. It's not bill yet. It's a bill. It's not law yet. Oh, it is now a law. Moo law. How are you? If you have not subscribed, come on already. Take that hand and hit that subscribe button. Congratulations. I love you. We're at the bottom of the hour going right into business grants, which I did not cover in this video for obvious reason. The next show is Business Launch, in which I show you the thousands of dollars you can get even if you are a sole practitioner. For everyone who has joined as a member today or shared super chats, including Mr. Black or Mr. Blake minutes ago, and I was unable to see them because of the chat rate, my apologies. We have been literally on fire today. The chat rate now is currently 130. Wow, that's big. We went to 200 earlier. A 30 is good. We're at 120 at the moment. There's Kim, and there's Risa, and there's Larry Cook, and there's Edwin. It's about time, Edwin. I agree. And there's Charlotte, and there's Sandy, and there's Alexander, and Pamela, and Elisa. How is everyone? And Mr. Black Type, thank you for the super chat. And with that, it's time for business grants. As noontime LA continues, if I can find where I am. There I am. What a day it is. As noontime LA continues. Stay of LA for a while.